Welcome back, everyone, to Data Science for Everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about transforming an array with React. Let's get started. So today, we're technically going to be doing a bit of a continuation of what we did before. And our previous task was to create up this, like a to-do list where we could say we wanted to complete things. Okay, now, this is great and all, but usually you want to have priority for some of these items. So let's change this up and let's create up a to-do list that allows you to move items based on your priority. So specifically, we will have it so that we will have, well, let's go and comment this out, and let's go down here and let's actually make up some data. Okay, so we have. Okay, so well, just to get started here, okay, I still have import use state from React, okay, and we're going to down here, and let me maybe make a couple more lines here so we have some space. We're going to create up some tasks, so we'll say let tasks is equal to, and again, we're putting in our task list here, and we'll say something like ID is 0, name of the task here, and again, we're just going to be very basic here. We'll just say task A, and we're going to add in a priority. Okay, and we can have something like high position here, and we'll say we want it basically at like the top of the list. Oops. And the next thing that we're going to want here, let's go on and copy this. And we want our ID here to be 1. This will be task B. Let's call this a low position. And this will be in position 2. And again, we're going to do the same thing here. And we'll put this in position 3. Let's keep it a high. This is task C, and its ID is 2. Okay, so we have our tasks. Okay, and again, you can put in whatever you want for your task list. But we want this so that when we first have our list, they're going to appear like this. Now, what we want to do, though, is let's say that we want to prioritize the list. Okay, and so maybe you do your low priorities first, and so then you want to move these high priorities. Oh, no, this high priority and this high priority, you want to move them down in the list. Okay, and so maybe we can do this with 2 of them. So let's add in maybe 2 more to the position here, and this one would be, let's say 4. This one's 5, and again we'll just have high, low, high, low, high. So then we should see these, and actually, you know what? Let me make this one low. And this is D, E, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our nice task list. We have highs, we have lows. Okay, and again, you can put in a medium priority as well, but for now, we'll just keep it as highs and lows just for ease of our example here. So, and again, what we'll do is we want to move the low priorities up the list and the high priorities down the list. Maybe because these high priorities tasks, maybe you need to adjust your scheduling or change your prioritization, and anything like that. Okay, we're just going to show you how to move things around on a list. So we're going to export default, and we're going to create up a nice function here, and we're going to call this our task manager. And we will, just as normal, we're going to have a constant. And you know what? Let's call this task list in all caps here. So then we'll have our tasks. We'll have our set tasks. And again, here we are going to use state. And our initial tasks are going to be our tasks list, or our task list. And then let's create up a way to handle our functionality. Okay, so we'll do function, handle click, not going to take anything, and we'll do const next tasks is equal to tasks dot map our task and our task here. What are we going to want it to do? So what we're going to do is we want it to find the low tasks. Okay, so if task dot priority is equal to low, we want to return the task. Okay, else we're going to want, and you know what, this needs to be a full equivalency there. An if or else statement here. So what do we do here? Let me make this specific here. Okay. So here we're going to not change for low priority tasks. Okay, because again, they're just things that you can just kind of get done really quickly. And for our else here, we're going to move the high priority tasks down the list. Okay, so we'll return. Here, we'll expand out the tasks for the task itself. And we're going to change the position such that, and here actually we're returning an object here. Okay, so we want the task, and we're going to change out the position to task.position +1. Okay, so it will move high priority tasks down one in the list. Okay, and again, we may have to hit the button a couple times, for example, to move them all down, but you'll see what we're about to do with it. Okay. Now, the next portion here, after we've done our if statement here, okay, we want to go down and we want to sort our tasks by their new position. Okay, so sort tasks by new position to maintain list order. All right, so how are we going to go about this? Well, we're going to do dot sort, and here we're going to take in A and B, again, for our positions. Okay, and actually, I don't need this. We can do this all in one line. So we'll do A dot position minus B dot position. Okay, and then we need to go about re-rendering. Okay, so we set our tasks to our new tasks. Okay, and again, if we go up here, notice that is our, I said next tasks. So let's, do you want new or next? Let's just say next. So let's change this. Instead of new, we'll do next tasks. Okay, good. So now we actually have to give it something to see and something to do. Well, let's go and do that. So we want to return, and then we want to add in a button. Okay, and this button will be, maybe it'll just be a prioritized task button. Okay, and what we need in here is on click, here we want to handle the click. Okay. Then let's go on and put in our div tag in here. And what do we want in here? We want to do something like tasks dot map. And again, we want our task. Oh, and this is tasks. I want to map out the tasks. Each task here, and we want it to have its own, let's give it its own div tag. Why did it do that here? That one? That one we're fine. Oh, it's not wanting to give us our other tag here. All right, so we'll have our div tag. Now this is going to take in, for the key, it's going to be our task.id. So we'll do it by their ID numbers. And then we want to also have what in here? Let's not put any style just yet. We can maybe put in some style here in a minute if we think it doesn't look very good. All right, instead of putting in items on a list, like we did before. So let's do task dot name. And then here we'll have dash priority, and we'll give this a capital P. And here, and we'll actually put out the priority of the task. And then let's also, just so that we can see it, let's give it a position. And we'll give it a position argument as well. Okay, and I think that will do it. So now let's actually check and see what it's not exactly liking in here. So let's go back over, and again, it has some errors here, failed to build because of our syntax. So let's go on and clean this up, and maybe I should zoom out for you guys a little so you can see everything for now. And we have our I don't want to move this to a new file. Let's see what we have here. So we have this, we have created up our button. Let's just clean everything up so it looks nice and clean. We have our dig tab where we have our tasks. We are mapping our task. We have our div tag here. Oops, it's probably because I'm doing nonsense like that. There we go. All right, so now it's successful. Let's let it re-render. There we go. And so now we see our task. Now, this looks pretty decent. Now, if we do something like this and we hit prioritize tasks, oh, and notice here we have some errors somewhere happening because we have these NaN values in here. All right, so let's go on and see where that happens. So let's double check it and let's read it again. So we have our position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have our low priorities down here. We have our low priority here. And so we have our high and our high. So our high position should move down in the list. And these guys should be moving up in the list. So let's see what happens. I hit it once. All right. Priority high added, and then notice here our other tasks seem to have had a major issue. I get in, I hit it again, and we get NaN. All right, so it is when we are dealing with the low values is where we're having an issue. So let's go on and find where that issue is residing. So it probably has to do with our if statements here, okay? So the first thing is we want to double check if, oh, and here, I can already see it. So if task.priority is equal to low, then we don't change anything. But notice here, we put tasks instead of task. Okay, so let's also double check if anything else is out of place here, but we return, we're opening up our tasks, we're spreading it. We have the position, we have a task dot position +1. So let's go back over and let's refresh. Let's give it a try now. All right. Notice what happened here. Our items started to move down a little bit. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right, so now we're just about there, okay? These two guys have moved down into their positions, and if we keep doing it, there. Now we're good. Now notice we didn't really need to rename the naming convention or anything like that. It's just showing where it happens to be in the list. We're changing up the sizes and everything else. Now let's take just a minute to make this look good, okay? So let's give it just a little bit of style, okay? Because again, this looks very cramped. It doesn't look like a nice list. So how do we do that? Well, it's very simple. We go over to our tasks div, okay? So notice we put this in a div and we didn't put it in a list like we were doing in the previous examples. So let's go on right here and add in a little bit of style, okay? So what do we want? Let's put in margin to equal maybe 5 pixels. Okay, so let's give it a margin. Notice it got everything spread out a little bit. Okay, and again, if I take this out really quickly just to show you guys what we're dealing with here. Notice they are very close together right now. So let's put that in that pixel back, those 5 pixels, and notice they spread out a little bit. Now let's add padding, okay? So we're going to add some padding here, and let's add in 10 pixels of padding. Notice everything got a little bit wider, it got a little bit fatter. Okay, that looks nice. Now let's add in just a nice solid border to them. So then they each look like they have their own individual pieces in here. So let's do border. And we'll do 1 pixel solid black. So notice now they have this nice looking, they each look like they have their own piece. Okay, they have their own place. Maybe you want to put in a background color to them or something, that's fine. But now when we do this and we move things, it looks a little bit better when we move things down. So now notice all the low tasks are here, all the high tasks are here as we prioritize them and move the high priority down in the list. Okay, so again, I just kind of showed you guys how we can move and manipulate arrays. Okay, we're basically transforming the arrays in this instance. So in the next video, we'll look at how we can potentially replace items in an array. So for example, again, this is what we'll do next time, is maybe you want to change B and you want to replace it with something, okay? Maybe, and maybe we'll even, if we have time, we'll maybe try inserting something inside of there as well. So if you guys like this and you want more of this content, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.